this being the Uposatha night, the Uposatha day, and it's a day when Sangha refresh or remember, align themselves to their moral standards. Doing this every 2 weeks for the last 2,500 years. And it's probably that which has kept this thing going. It's a very firm axis, ethical, and it just placing that into the centre of one's attention and reviewing. Where's the speech been careless? Where's the actions been heedless? Where's the sense of indulgence or the sense of non-respect or disrespect when we shifted away and coming back to that? So it's a little more than just rights and wrongs. It's a matter of losing balance. If you keep checking it before it goes too far out, then you don't pick up. You check habits before they take over. You keep that alignment. So this is encapsulated in the 8 precepts, which people can even just take for the night, because this is considered to be the supreme standard for household life. Just to do it for one night even, whereby you deliberately put aside your household duties, your family relationships, your occupations and pastimes, your entertainments, your appearance. You just put it aside and actually, right, all this is going to go, all this is going to go one day or another. Where's the centre? Right, you keep coming back to that. So even if you just do it for a night, this is if you do it carefully. So in the monastery, this is the standard. 8 precepts is the standard for everyone. It keeps a sense of that's the common axis, the common ground. And so we encourage this to pick up, begin to learn, train, pick up the meaning, the letter, the spirit, and the action of alignment to the 8 precepts, refuges and precepts. So, of course, it's always that which you ask for, it's never imposed. So, if anyone would like to request the 8 precepts, now is the refuges and 8 precepts, now is the time to do so. If you don't know how to do it and you want to do it, it's in the books. But if you don't want to do it, we'll move on to the next piece, Dhamma Talk. Okay, so those who would like to participate, you bring your hands together, and if you know the recitation, follow along with the recitation. If you're not familiar with the recitation, at least try to follow along with the meaning of what's being presented. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddham saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Ti saranagamanang nititang. Panati pata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Undertake the precept, refrain from destroying living creatures. Adinna dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. And to take the precept, refrain from taking that which is not given. Brahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. And to take the precept, to refrain from sexual conduct. Mutsavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. And to take the precept, to refrain from false and harmful speech. Sura miraya majjapamatatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. And to take the precept, to refrain from intoxicating drink and drugs that lead to carelessness. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. And to take the precept, to refrain from eating at inappropriate times. Nachagitavadita visukha tassana mala kanda vilepana dharana mandana vibhusana thana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. And to take the precept, refrain from entertainments, beautification and adornment. Ucca sayana maha sayana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. And to take the precept, to refrain from using highs and luxurious sleeping places. Imani sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani sikkhapadani silena sukhating yanti, silena bhoga sampada, silena nibbo Tengyanti tasma silang visodaye. tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang namasami. So today, the pause today, and it's a holy day. You could say in the ancient tradition this would be every moon there'd be a break from the daily routines, and people would reflect upon the big issues of life: birth, death, meaning, relationship, purpose, occupation, world, family, individuality, whether there's life after death or not, so on. And need some guidance with that. So the Buddha really recommended this to be an occasion when people were kind of ready and interested to pick up some of these guiding principles of the teachings. And it's a holy day, it's also a holiday, same thing, because the idea is like a holiday ideally is a place where you kind of relax, busyness, relax your habits, relax your got to do it, relax all those strong agitations and drives, and refresh. That refreshing, if you're careful, get a chance to review what you're doing, where you're going, what you belong to, what's alive for you, what you finish with. So you get a chance to refresh, regenerate, reform. And that's really the idea of a holiday. A holiday that's a holy day. It's not really about worshipping something, it's about looking after yourself. Although naturally, one of the themes of them is that you, in order to look after yourself, you refer to some guidance, some guiding teachers or some guiding lights. They say, okay, let's listen to that. Because in our experience, there's lots of things we can hear, lots of influences we hear, feel, are touched by, moved by, opinions, views, and so forth, and events. And where is it in all this? Where's the straight line? Where's the guiding light? And so that's the principle of the Sangha, is to keep trying to remember that guiding light, live it, exemplify it, present it. Not just in terms of words, but in terms of presence. And you see, essentially the presence here is quite calm, spacious and open. There's not a lot of compulsion. In fact, it's a very much open situation. People can come, people can leave. It's no charge. You're not asked to do anything or believe in anything. It's encouragements, but it's up to you. And it's spacious, psychologically spacious. Doesn't matter what your belief system is, age, gender, doesn't matter. There's room. And that very much is the spirit of the teaching, the way the Buddha wanted it to be. So just ideally, before there were monasteries, he just said, just go walking and teach anybody who wants to listen to you. But you don't go and press yourself upon them, you wait till they ask you. So that's quite pivotal. So you just present what you're doing, present yourself, present your presence, and your stability and your clarity and your gentleness, and see what happens. People are attracted to that. What are you doing? What's that about? And if they want to, you can then say what you're doing. That's still very much what we do. Even when we go on this alms round in the local town, just go there with your alms bowl. You don't ask for anything. You don't tell people what you're doing. Just stand there, and they see who's interested in checking you out. And that's the way it's gone. And so it seems extremely fragile in many respects, because you're not actually proclaiming anything or asking for anything, or even holding on to much. So it seems extremely fragile. And that's part of the beauty of it. Something so seemingly fragile, just dependent upon what happens in the open space, what happens without pressure, without pushing, without ranting or preaching, without indoctrinating. What happens when people get together and just their own, what happens? It softens and opens. And just out of that movement and a softening and opening and the beauty of it and the preciousness of it, actually, this is what I want to be. I want to have more of this. I want to be in this more, because this allows me to unpack, unfold, and find depths. And this is when someone is kind of there, who's living that. I've got that sense of this is a shared reality, and somehow that has kept this thing going for 2,500 years. And if it's not like that, then we have something, if it's built just on money and power, you can have an impressive monastery, but you don't actually have the Dhamma anymore. The light's gone out, it's got institutions. So it's our job to keep that quality alive, refreshed, and lived out. What does it do? What we're doing? And you learn this because you learn this in meditation. Is the where you begin to test that. Of course, there are many systems of meditation, but be very simple about it. What does the monastery support? What does the situation support? Where there's no pressure, there's no minimal impact, there's not a lot of sound, sights banging away, things you've got to deal with. Open stillness, and it's safe. And it's open and still, but it's also safe, and it's also the sense of there's people are sharing this. And that tuning into that allows something quite involuntary to relax. We feel safe. We feel we're in something that is not, you don't have to deal with anything. You don't have to make something happen. You don't have to be anything. There's a tremendous psychological relaxation that occurs. It's kind of on an involuntary level. There's obviously things we can voluntarily relax. We can put down our tools and switch off the engine and so forth, but you can still feel quite tense and tight and busy, because that becomes the habit. So this kind of more reflex is created by or stimulated by a supportive environment. Oh yeah. And if you like, like you can recognize when we're contemplating this very structure of the body, we have skin, you have muscles, you have bones, we have all kinds of soft organs. So very simply, all bodies are made like that. And the soft organs need to be protected. So we've got skin boundary, keeps things out. And if that's not hard enough, firm enough, you've got the muscle boundary, definitely pushes things out, forms hard. And in a very hostile environment or a precarious environment, what happens is that we become muscular rather than skin. We become kind of a bit hard-edged and uptight, and to hold ourselves. And this is kind of a reflex that the body does. So whenever you get shocked or frightened, you find yourself tense up. You don't find yourself relaxing. you've got lots of banging and crashing and loud noises going on, you don't find yourself softening and relaxing, you find yourself getting a bit more activated. So the muscle tone gets activated. If he's not doing anything, it activates to form a sense of, I'm ready to do stuff. And that ready to do stuff, activations, which may be necessary at times, sometimes they're overdone, they get locked, so we don't know anything but activation. Yeah. They take us away from some of the softer qualities of stillness and fluidity and spaciousness. And when there's a lot of impact, as there is in daily life, it's not necessarily violent in terms, it's not life-threatening, but it's impactful. So, you go in the traffic, there's cars whizzing by, any one of those could kill you. Your own car could kill you. Maybe it's not because anybody's deliberately trying to do it, but things can happen. You have to have a certain sense of holding it together and vigilance. So you got that. Then you go to some place, you maybe go to a town, there's people moving by, there's traffic lights, there's things flashing and banging. So everything keeps you on to alert, attuned to the sensory world. So you're activated, you're speedy, you're not soft, you're generally activated. Yeah. Sometimes if things are getting very noisy, very loud, you get quite activated. You get pretty agitated, trying to just keep up with the pace of what needs to be dealt with. Yeah, and this is the general trend. So then, so when people don't have to be activated, then probably, switch on something, some music, movie, download a video or something to keep activated, because you get used to that sense of, something jigging around. Jung, 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 jung. So you're like that. And a friend of mine was saying he lives on a boatyard, and the people on the quite quiet little boatyard on a canal, on his boat. There's nothing much happening by itself. It's just canal, a few ducks quacking. And he said one of the neighbours, he says this guy always carries around a kind of musical thing, like some kind of recording system or boom box. This thing is banging away, and so he's got that going. So he's always talking, jittery like that. Oh, yeah. And then when you go to his boat, you smell the marijuana, clouds of marijuana coming out of the boat. So this guy's constantly, that's what holds him together. It's constant activation and stimulation and soporific. So the person is cannot go, is actually constantly generated and held by the impact of things that are outside him, such as music, sound, drugs, so forth. And the idea of switching some of that off probably would be very uncomfortable. Just to ask him just to sit still for 10 minutes would probably be very uncomfortable without some stimulation. So this kind of, people get into this in the pressure and the buzz and the speed and the impact of daily life. People get into this sense whereby they get used to a whole amount of stimulation. So in fact, then going on holiday means more stimulation. That's a different kind of stimulation, but go to a fun fair, chuck yourself off a bridge with a rope hanging around your leg, do something slightly crazy. More stimulation. And, okay, what happens if you switch the stimulation off? Kind of something to do, kind of feel uncomfortable. Memories, oh goodness, uncomfortable memories, feelings of boredom, feelings of agitation, don't know what to do, negative thoughts coming up, thinking about oneself. I sometimes give this anecdote of an experiment that was done on a group of people in New England, Boston. They would just say, what do you do? You can sit on this chair for 10 minutes. You don't have to meditate. You sit there for 10 minutes with no stimulation. What you have is a little wire connected to your body. And if you want, you can push a button and it'll give you electric shock. It's like jab of pain. You don't have to, but if you want it, you can do that. And they said, like, majority of people would hit the button to give themselves, sometimes hit the button 20 times in 10 minutes, because it was something rather than nothing. Without that something, even if it's uncomfortable, there's a feeling of negative thoughts, depression, agitation, worry coming up. Because it's all, the center has not been cleaned, not been refreshed, not been discharged, not been regenerated. It's all external. Yeah? And you get what we call the muscle boundary, which isn't necessarily power muscle, it's a muscle of constant twitchy activity. Yeah? That keeps our awareness poised at the edge of where sense impact is happening. And in that, being at that edge of where sense impact is happening, we experience a world of sense consciousness. So much so we think this is definitely the real thing, This shape, this size, he's there, we're so many feet apart, that's yesterday, I'm in this town, this is this colour, this taste, definitely this is a pizza, this is a banana, that's reality. And you think, yeah, that's sensory reality, all right. That's it. That's sensory reality. And what you notice about all of that is it's you can't have any of it. It all just passes by. It comes and it goes. Yeah. The rush, it passes by, it comes and it goes. Pleasant comes and goes, unpleasant comes and goes. You can't own it. You try to own it, but you can't. Yeah. And there's the next thing. After I had that, what next? I've done that, and now what next? It's got that to it. That's sensory reality. Having been to this place, now what do I do? Next thing. Having eaten that, what do I do now? So it's always got that momentum to it, and that impact. And some of it, of course, is directly, distinctly hostile. And if we're not actually physically being violated, there's a psychological impact of reading and hearing all these horrible horror stories of violence, war, conflict, famine, that, when you read them or hear them, oh my goodness, unless you're really a stone, you get impacted with a sense of dismay, worry, fear, anxiety, even hopelessness. What's the point of living in a world where there's so many brutal people doing crazy stuff? How are we going to survive? So then it just comes in. That's our world. Naturally, when your world's like that, then you've got to do something to keep the unpleasant stuff out from just bringing you down. So you have to basically switch things off, try to switch the unpleasant off, and then try to focus on the pleasant, however passing and transient that is. That's the strategy. But that kind of natural inclination sets up a current in the heart of avoidance. That which is unpleasant is, we just don't know how to handle it. That which is pleasant, we keep reaching out for it but can't actually finalize it. So this sets up a current in the heart. And even recognizing that current, which is what Buddha meant by dukkha, the unsatisfied, the incomplete, the irresolute, the unsatisfactory, you begin to recognize as another reality apart from sense reality, which is playing out at the same time. We can call this heart reality or citta reality, Buddhist word citta. Citta reality is not the same as sense consciousness, though it does play it out. And if you begin to, in your meditation, just relax your body, switch off the senses, not negatively, just not, then you enter the citta reality. When you enter citta reality, then it's memories from the past. Strange turbulence, tiredness, sleepiness. Yeah, buzzy mind, buzzy stuff happening. And that's no longer something out there. That becomes internalized, and we feel ourselves in that. Yeah, and this, in fact, is these are all the results of not paying proper attention to this heart, this central reality, and cleaning it, because this central citta reality picks up the emotional and psychological effects. So it doesn't actually pick up sense consciousness, but it picks up the reverberations and the repercussions of that movement of defending and grasping and avoiding and spinning. It picks up the ripples of all that, so it gets very, sort of disturbed. And so why do you want to go in there? Well, because that's, in a way, that's eventually, that's the reality that lasts. That's the one that counts, because that's the one where your happiness, depression, anxiety, sense of well-being, that's where that comes from, not from the sense consciousness. Sense consciousness can only stimulate it, but ideally you can become independent of that and just live on that purity of heart consciousness alone, which is the aim, the journey, the cultivation that we encourage by our practice, presence and teaching. This means, we begin to relax some of that volitional muscle energy, which is about doing and having and owning and making things happen. We relax it, soften it. And it's rather more like now you're much more like skin. Oh yeah, that's happening. I don't have to react to it. I can sense something's happening. Instead of creating a whole yes-no reaction to it, grabbing it or fighting it, pushing it away, I think, oh, it feels like this. Okay. That's skin. Just like you feel it. Rather than, it shouldn't be this way, or it's his fault, or what I'm going to do about it, you just feel this is unpleasant feeling. And actually, this recognition is calm and clear, and it firms us up in a way that's not defensive. It means we've got a sense of clear stability, emotional stability, where before there was a whole lot of agitation. This act of pure acknowledgement, without justifying something, or blaming it on ourselves or others. Unpleasant feeling is like this. And in the sensory reality, you either grab it, pleasant feeling, or you push it, defend yourself against unpleasant feeling. But in citta reality, you can experience unpleasant feeling, not react to it, and it passes. There's a silence, a spaciousness. You can experience pleasant feeling, not grab hold of it. It passes, and there's a silence and a spaciousness. So you're not caught in this to and fro rhythm. And that practice of this translation from sensory reality to citta reality begins by itself to strengthen, realign and amplify and purify the quality of citta, the heart, center of the mind, center of consciousness. It's not possessive, it's not brittle, it doesn't have an opinion, it's just that which can digest the impact comes to us. But the beauty of it is, in that process of digesting pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, something else begins to occur. There's a gradual, incremental strengthening of presence and awareness. You're aware, you're present, and these have got a kind of suffusive happiness and strength to them, which you have to practice with in order to begin to experience. It's not like a sudden hit of pleasure. It's a gentle, calming, refreshing quality. It becomes stronger. And it encourages this greater freedom from fear. Freedom from anxiety, freedom from missing, freedom from losing, freedom from being made to look like an idiot, freedom from getting it wrong, freedom from social pressure, freedom from the future, trying to figure it out, make it work, freedom from the past, regret, doubt, nostalgia, freedom from that. And the freedom feels good. Not that we don't have a past, but it's no longer haunting. You can remember things that you've made a mistake with. That was good. Yeah, that wasn't, not to do that again. But it's no longer leaning on you. You can think of, oh yeah, maybe next year I'll do that, but it's no longer dragging you. You still, your freedom feels good. Yeah. And the quality of spaciousness and openness means that because we're not clamping on or resisting things, there's a sense of the inner space opens up. Not a room to move, not a room to just wait on that. We'll see. I'm fine. Something happens or doesn't happen, that's okay. And then, so you've got a lot more freedom to decide exactly what feels furthering, purposeful, beautiful. Yeah. And this, most of us need some support with that, because this inner realm, this citta realm, however fundamental it is, receives the impact of events that have passed, seemingly passed, still like liquid, where something's dropped into it, the ripples are still shaking. And the teaching is those ripples don't actually just fade out without you giving attention to it. They have a potency to still keep stirring unless you give them attention, because there's an unconscious resistance and covering of them. And until there's real openness and dispassion, the regrets, the pains of the past don't disappear. They just get frozen. And for an untrained mind, this is kind of what happens. It's the best it can do. We just shut it down and go look somewhere else and shrug it off and say, get over it. That was 5 years ago, get over it. And you can do this. But actually what you're doing is just putting some more muscle in place. Internal gripping. And you're trying to get over it, you get over it, and then you sit and open up, and there it is again. I thought I dealt with this. No, you haven't dealt with it, because you can't deal with it. It doesn't work like that. You have to give up the idea we can deal with things and just become open to them. Let them work themselves out in that open space. And that's a real maturation that takes years to develop. Most of us will still find ourselves trying to justify or excuse or forgive or let go or give up. It's always the same volitional quality is trying to make something not be there. Make my ill will not be there. And that volitional quality doesn't have the quality of the space. It's not the same thing. It's some kind of movement where you're trying to blame, excuse something, or give it a lecture. Never mind, people are like that, whatever. But it's all just more volitional movement happening to try to clear out the past. So what do? Do we just sit in it and wallow in it? No. There's a sense in which that the realm of citta, we talked about the skin, the soft stuff, is also, we call it the spine. Like we have the spine of our body, which most of us don't feel unless we damage it. But it's the thing that everything in the body orients around the central axis spine. It's the quiet center. It doesn't have sensation like the skin. It doesn't have volition like the muscles can do things. Spines don't do anything. They don't feel anything, but they maintain gravity and presence. And just as the citta is structured in very much the same way. The soft edges to it, which can be very light and seemingly almost boundless. We can get very pushy and agitated, you get the muscle sense. And also there's a spinal sense, which means presence. And that presence has an effect. Although it doesn't do anything, what it does is it imparts a stabilizing influence. And what is this spine? We talk in physical terms, it's pretty easy to sense, but in Dhamma, in the world of the citta, the spine can be seen as the refuges, the precepts, the examples, the enlightened ones, everything that says, be upright. It's as simple as that. Everything that says, be upright, be present, be upright and open. Stop fidgeting, stop cowering, stop pushing, stop boasting. Just be present and upright. Everything that says that. And that's kind of what the, if you get down to what the, what you can get from teachers and it's basically that. There's all the language and the ideas and so forth, which you can get on a verbal level, but fundamentally the teaching presence is just that spine. Stop cowering, stop blaming, stop fudging, stop excusing, stop justifying, stop blaming. Be present, be upright. Stop trying to hide things, stop getting agitated around it, stop adding more guilt and blame to what's happened, stop planning the future, just be present and open to it. I don't want to be present and open to it. It's horrible. I want to be happy and bright and cheerful and wonderful and clear and everything. Yes, true. Be present and open to that. That whimpering voice that says, I doesn't want it to be this way. Be present and open to that. This is it. Okay. What am I supposed to do? Be present and open to that question, that doubt. I don't think I can do this. After all, how is it going to work? Be present and open to that voice. When it's panic and it's do something. Be present and open to all those volitional twitches that start saying, because she did that, they're all doing that, and I never said that. She always did that to me. I never got that. Okay, be present and open to that. Don't make anything. So this is the middle way, because it's about first accepting these repercussions and reverberations that will be rattling around in the citta, accepting their presence but not adopting them. It's like you open the door, they come to the door, and you, there at the open door, you come to the door, but you don't say, oh, let's get talking. You just open the door, you stand there, you come to the door, and you mm-hmm. They say, well, no, you go, mm-hmm. But it shouldn't be like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. We're going to do something about it. Yeah. It's not right. Yeah. Yeah, how's that feel? Horrible. Can you be present and open with that? I know you don't want to, but can you? That's what I'm doing. Oh yeah. You feel the energy of that agitation begin to drain because we're not giving it any energy. You accept, but you don't adopt, you don't engage, you don't reject. Yeah? You accept the presence, but you don't bring it into your house. And the truth of the matter is that actually we had that power, but out of the power to recognize things without taking them in. We've always had that power to be able to recognize something without taking it in, but we lost it because we wanted to take in that which is pleasant, comfortable, interesting. So we took that in. Then we took in all the bad guys too, because we didn't know where the door was, and we didn't know. We stand at the door. We don't accept. We accept the presence. We don't adopt. We don't kick it out, and all that increases the strength of one's standing, and it feels good because you're free from agitation. It's an open door. And it constantly, that openness constantly keeps us like awake to what's coming, to the sense of the future, or what other people think, or what I will be, what could happen to me, what I'm not getting. Keeps us awake to that. And we're constantly discharging that. And as you do so, it turns into strength by itself. As you discharge the push and the flurry and the worry, by itself it turns into strength. So in that there's plenty of room in the open door. It's rather like this monastery we don't have a gate at the front door. We do have bollards because tiny percentage of people would drive in and start throwing things around and making a nuisance. So we say, come in but walk in. Walk in means get onto your human body, onto your own legs, and walk in, open. Then you're in. Don't come in your little metal box that you can drive in and whisk out again. Come and walk in. You're welcome if you walk in as a human being. And this can be quite nervous place. Somebody was coming to interview me a few days ago for a magazine, local parish magazine, and he's saying, "Are you allowed in here?" I said, "Well, that's why we don't have a gate." He said, "But I never quite know what to do when you get to an open gate." I said, "Yeah, that's called meditation." At that moment you think, am I? Should I? Would I? What am I supposed to? That's meditation. You just stand at the open gate and let all that stuff simmer and just keep standing there and let it settle down. Yeah. But for this, definitely that presence of that encouragement, that spine, so we can feel ourselves deliberately standing. Then there's room. There's room for you, there's room for me, there's room for him, there's room for her, there's room for that, there's room for this. We're not closing and shutting and defending. And there's room to receive the horror. There's room to receive the grief. If we can't receive the grief, we're going to be... Life has got grief in it. You can't receive the joy. If you can't receive the grief, you can't receive the joy. You've got to be open door. You've got to learn how to make room for all of it. And the beauty of the open door is, all you receive eventually is just your own repercussions and resonances, because the sense world doesn't actually come in. Only the resonances and repercussions. This gives us immense refuge. That our loved ones will not die is impossible. That we will not notice it is impossible. But what is possible is we'll notice that, be open to that, and not be shattered by it. That the world could be fair and comfortable and decent is not possible. That we could find somewhere else to go is not possible. But that we could stand and receive the shock and the horror without getting into righteousness, revenge and vindictiveness, that is possible. And it gives you strength, and from that strength you feel compassion. There's room for you, there's room for me. There's no room for everyone else, then you're just constricted. There's no room to receive the impact of the world, then you're restricted, you're closed down, you're just all muscle defending yourself. If you get swallowed up by it, you've got no spine. But if you've got spine, skin, you can receive without getting shocked, knocked around, broken by the world of the past, the world of the present, or the world of what will be. In Chitta consciousness, these are all potentially present. Still the past in terms of Chitta consciousness, heart consciousness, the present, the future, the other side of the world, what your granny said, they're all there as long as they're there. You don't get away from anything. You're in that. Some of it's because of things you did, some of it's things just because things have touched you and moved into you. That's our place to practice. So here we are recognizing this is quite an unusual way from the way of the world, and sometimes a daunting task, because one can feel very much like, wow, I've got so much going on in me. Well, tell me about it. It's the same for all of us. Yeah. Except with practice, you're no longer shaken by it, secure and free. And you feel that freedom gives you joy and comfort and humour in the midst of a world that's going all over the place. So here we want to offer our support constantly for anyone who's prepared to commit, even for an hour. This, we're here, that's our support, that's our offering. And so I encourage you all to take a regular holiday, come here for your holidays. Can't come here for your holiday, have a holiday at home, because it doesn't really matter where you are. Holidays, the holiday of the heart is always available, 365 days a year. That's the best holiday. Anyone?